Let me tell you how two people earning roughly the same income, living in modern developed economies, shopping at similar stores, using the same technology, and facing many of the same financial pressures. One constantly feels as though money is slipping through their fingers no matter how hard they work, while the other seems to move through life with a greater sense of financial stability, not because they earn dramatically more, but because they approach money differently. This contrast appears often when researchers compare financial behavior across countries, and one region that repeatedly stands out is Scandinavia. While no society has solved every financial challenge, several Scandinavian money habits reveal interesting lessons about how people relate to spending, saving, debt, and long-term security. The first habit is treating savings as a permanent expense rather than an optional leftover. In many households, saving happens only after every other bill has been paid and every purchase has been made. The problem is that leftovers rarely appear consistently. Scandinavian households often reverse the sequence by treating saving as part of the basic financial structure itself. Psychologically, this creates a subtle shift because the money is never mentally available for spending in the first place. Instead of asking how much can be saved after consumption, the question becomes how life will be organized after saving has already occurred. The second habit is maintaining a strong preference for financial buffers. A buffer is not an investment portfolio or a retirement account. It is simply accessible cash reserved for unexpected events. Many financial setbacks begin not with a major disaster, but with a relatively ordinary surprise such as a car repair, a temporary loss of income, or a medical expense. Without a buffer, small disruptions often trigger borrowing, and borrowing can create a chain reaction that lasts much longer than the original problem. Scandinavian financial culture tends to place significant value on maintaining these cushions because stability is viewed as a resource in itself rather than a byproduct of wealth. The third habit involves resisting lifestyle inflation. Human beings adapt remarkably quickly to improved circumstances. A salary increase feels exciting at first, but after a few months the larger income often becomes normal while new expenses quietly take its place. A larger apartment, more subscriptions, more dining out, and higher expectations can consume gains that once seemed substantial. Many Scandinavian households display a cultural tendency toward moderation, which does not mean avoiding enjoyment or refusing comfort. Instead, it means recognizing that every permanent expense creates future obligations. A fourth habit is viewing debt cautiously even when debt appears manageable. Debt is not always harmful. Mortgages, education financing, and business investments can serve important purposes. However, Scandinavian financial norms often emphasize understanding the long-term cost of borrowing rather than focusing only on monthly payments. This distinction matters because the human brain naturally pays attention to immediate affordability while underestimating cumulative costs. A purchase may seem reasonable when reduced to a monthly figure, yet the total cost over years can tell a very different story. The fifth habit is valuing financial predictability. Many people chase the highest possible returns, the biggest opportunities, or the most exciting investments. Scandinavian approaches often prioritize reliability alongside growth. Predictability reduces stress because uncertainty carries psychological costs that do not appear on financial statements. Knowing that bills can be covered, emergencies can be absorbed, and future plans remain achievable provides a form of financial utility that extends beyond simple numerical wealth. In other words, money is not only a tool for acquiring things, it is also a tool for reducing uncertainty. The sixth habit centers on delayed consumption. Modern economies are built around immediacy. Purchases can be completed in seconds, financing can be approved quickly, and advertising constantly encourages action now rather than later. Delayed consumption introduces a pause between desire and decision. That pause may be a few days or a few weeks, but it allows emotion to fade while rational evaluation becomes stronger. Behavioral research consistently shows that many impulsive purchases lose their appeal when given enough time. The seventh habit involves focusing on net worth rather than visible income. Income receives attention because it is easy to compare. Net worth tells a more complete story because it accounts for assets and liabilities together. Two individuals can earn identical salaries while occupying completely different financial positions depending on debt levels, savings rates, and accumulated assets. Scandinavian financial thinking often reflects a greater awareness that long-term security depends not only on what enters the household each month, but also on what remains and compounds over time.